we go. Are we expecting any other members?
I thought that Rosemary would be here and I haven't heard from Dawn, so I think we can go ahead and get started. We do have a quorum, and if they come, then we'll be happy to have them, but in the meantime, we can take notes for Rosemary.
Okay. Do we have a designated volunteer to do that?
Do you mind doing that?
Okay. All right, my name is Meredith Eaton and I will call this meeting to order. We will begin with roll call. Paula Lesko, Administrator. Okay. Betty Williamson, here. Don Thomas. Danielle Swopes, here. Swopes. Jean Bundy,
Here.
Rosemary Hammond. Brandon Brooks.
Here.
And myself, Meredith Eaton. Okay, other members present or guests?
There, Victor.
Very good. Okay,
Mr. Mitten's on Zoom.
Oh, yes, if I could take this opportunity for those of you who have not met Mr. Mitten, Mr. Scott Mitten is with us via Zoom. He is the new city manager.
well, thank you for joining us. Okay, we're gonna proceed to item 3, approval of minutes from our May 9th meeting. Since Rosemary is not here,
I don't think that we have to go over them. I think if you guys have reviewed them ahead of time, if you've got any questions, we can answer those. If you have any corrections, we can take care of that. But I don't think that we have to go over them.
Okay, so in your packet, if you scroll down, the minutes are right below. And you all have had a chance, multiple days to review. I'm sure you've studied them deeply. So did anybody see any corrections, have any notes that need to be adjusted?
No, I move they be approved as written.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion over this motion? No, seeing no discussion, all in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, seeing no opposition, the motion passes. Okay, we will move on to item 4, which is consists of 3 items. Review of the 2024-2025 annual report, and we'll yield to Tana Luscombe, the library administrator, for this portion, please.
So every year, the library submits an annual report to the New Mexico State Library, which allows us, it's officially our application to receive the state grants and aid funding. I believe this year, I'd have to look through the packet, but I believe it was just over $10,000 this year. And we typically expect about the same amount every year. Sometimes it's higher, it could possibly go down, but for the most part, it stays about the same depending on how much money they receive. So we fill out, it's essentially an application, but it's a survey pretty much of everything that we did over the course of the fiscal year. So there is just a lot of basic information throughout. I'm happy to stand for any questions. There is a section, and I'm sorry, I didn't label which section it is, but as you go through, there's going to be a big chunk that is not in there because they don't relate to our library. So I left those areas out. There's a section that's just for tribal libraries. One, if we were a branch library, if we had a main branch and then we had multiple branches, there would be a section for that. One also for a grant that we don't participate in. So I left those sections out so that we wouldn't have this humongous, bigger than it already is packet. But if you have any questions about anything in the state report, I would be happy to answer those. Or we can go through it if you'd like to. We can do that also.
Are there any questions for Ms. Luscombe?
I think so.
I feel like most of it's pretty self-explanatory. It talks about what our legal service area is, what we spend our money on, how much staff that we have, how much of our funding is contributed from our local government, how much we receive from state government, and then we have to document what we spent those funds on. There's a section on all of the programming that we do throughout the year.
When do you, maybe I missed it, but when do we hear the funding results?
So they just finished, the application was due August. I submitted this on August 8th. It was due on the 11th. So I believe before the end of the year, we'll know. I know that they had just sent out some information to libraries who didn't meet the qualifications, who maybe could appeal. We don't fall into that category, so we're just waiting to hear back. Sometimes it's sooner, sometimes it's later. I don't foresee there to be an issue.
Okay, so are there any questions about the annual report? Okay, we'll move in to the next item from item 4, review of the 2025 summer reading program. Again, to Ms. Lesko.
So in the packet, there's a survey that we fill out for the state also. For the state library, they have us fill one out for our summer reading program. It talks about what different age groups that we provide programming to, how many people registered, how we receive our funding, the types of different things that we did. Did we only do on-site programs? Did we do off-site? Did we do online? This year, we only had on-site programs. The only time we've had virtual was whenever during COVID, whenever we had to change some things up. We are not a food distribution site, how we track things. So there's quite a bit of information in there, but it doesn't give the actual numbers that I think you would like to hear. So I thought I'd go ahead and give you those, and I'm sorry that they weren't included in the survey, but I can give you those numbers. For the 2025 summer reading program, the adults hosted 8 programs. We had a total attendance of 94, with the plant swap and the book tasting being our highest attended programs. And for those who signed up for the incentive program, we had 59 adults, which is a super high number for adults to participate in. I don't know how many actually completed it, but we had 59 sign up. For the young adults, we hosted 21 programs. They had 195 in attendance. They had 22 sign up for this incentive program and 6 completed it. And for the young adults, 195 is an extremely high number for attendance for them as well. And then for the kids who come in here and take all the glory, they had 43 programs with 1,354 in attendance overall. We had 123 sign up for the incentive program and 45 completed it. So we felt like that was a good number also for that. And I don't know how many of you saw the last city council meeting, but we did have a patron who is a 4th grader this year who read 5,080 minutes over the course of 7 weeks. So it's like 83 hours and 50 minutes or something like that. So when you sign up for the incentive program as a kid, you're asked to read 2 hours a week in order to earn prizes. And she was reading just over an hour and a half a day during that time. So she read bukus of books. And so we were happy to honor her last week at the city council meeting. And if you have any questions about summer reading, we'd be glad to answer them. And something that we're looking ahead for all programs going forward, we had a little bit of trouble with programs that we required registration for. We had a lot of people register and then they weren't showing up. We did text messages to confirm, and we'd have maybe 1 or 2 say that they weren't going to be here, and then we still wouldn't get the attendance that we were expecting. So we need to work on a better way to figure out how people are going to come. I think some of our problem for summer reading is that they see it sign up that we have these registered programs, and they register on the first day that they sign up, and then they have other things come up and they get busy and they don't show. I am surprised at the number that don't text back to say that they're not going to be there because we only do that just a couple of days ahead of the program. So there's time. We've also listed in the text that we have a waiting list and we don't hear back from people. So I'm hoping maybe we can come up with a solution to that going forward to find out if they're.
Is that across all age groups that you have that issue?
We had it with the family group. That was the one that we had signups for that also, and it was the same situation. So, we plan to have, however many we are planning for, that's the number that we would like to have supplies for. So we're not necessarily going to be short supplies, but we also don't want to have an overabundance of supplies for people who aren't going to show. So that's our main thing, trying to spend our money the best way. We want to make sure we have enough, but also not spending on things that we don't necessarily need to. So we're looking for ideas for that to help going forward with how we can get people signed up and get them to show up. So,
Are there any questions about the summer reading program?
No.
Okay, then we'll continue to our last item on Article 4, the review of the 2025 fall programming, again to Ms. Luscombe.
A quick question first, how do we get to the second part of the packet? Does anybody remember? Yes. Okay, thank you very much.
so attached are the schedules for children, young adult, and adults for September. I know it's not the full schedule of things that we have planned for the fall, but that's work in progress as we go. But right now we'll plan as we have in the past. We'll have on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday, we will do books and babies for the little bitties. Every other Tuesday at 10:30, we'll have the stream program on Tuesday afternoons for kindergarten through 6th grade, and that's the science, technology, reading, engineering, art, and math. Tuesday afternoons at 4:30. And then Wednesday, we'll have preschool story time in the morning. We have added a family night each month. After the success we had during the summer, we wanted to incorporate that during the regular year. So we hope to host one family night a month that I think will fall on a Wednesday most often. And then Thursdays, we'll have a repeat story time in the evenings at 6. For the young adults, her stuff is scattered throughout. I think she has at least a couple of programs a week. I feel kind of bad for her because she had such a bang of a summer with those kids, and they have started back to school and they are doing extracurriculars, and it's kind of been womp womp. So, so we're hoping that we can get some of those kids back and make some things work for them. For the adults, we have the 2 different book clubs. We have the Wednesday at 1 book club. They meet once a month at the beginning, the first Wednesday of the month. The Shelf Indulgence Book Club meets once a month, the first Thursday of the month. And then we have partnered with the Roosevelt County Historical Museum and Haley Goebel to offer the Roosevelt refreshers that she's been doing out at Enchantment Vineyards. She's going to do a repeat of her program that she does out there for the library once a month. So we've got her booked through December to do a program for us once a month. And then for the month of September, we're doing a fall craft night. That is something that we are asking people to sign up for so that we'll have enough things for them. And I'm going to have to redo everything I had planned because I did those crafts with my mom and my daughter, and it was a bust. And if I can't do it with those 2, then we can't do it with anybody. So
We've been down that road before.
yeah, you've done crafts with me. You know
Yes,
how that works.
I do.
So we're going to change up we're still doing fall crafts, but we're going to do some different things that night. Some other things we'll have going on. Let's see if there's a family book club also that meets every 3 months. And Sarah has also instituted a new Lego club. It's 1 Friday a month, hoping to catch some of those kids who need something to do on Friday while they're out of school. Trying to fit one more program in. Friday is usually a day that we are going to have at least 1 person out of the office, possibly more, and trying to keep it something that doesn't have as much structure. They can come in and play and do their thing, but not have it be an actual program with set rules and things. So we've got that for them. Next month, we will have an author visit with Kathleen Rogers and Teddy Jones. Both of them are semi-local. I think Teddy may be is she Farwell? Freona. And they came a couple of years ago. Kathleen wrote a book called The Flying Cutterbucks, and it was based off of Clovis. You knew that it was Clovis based on all of the descriptions. So she has written a new book that's coming out. Teddy Jones has written a new book, and they've asked if they could come do another author visit at the library. So they will be here next month, I believe October 10th, and that might not be the right day, but it should be that week on that Thursday. So we're hoping to do the Roosevelt refreshers once a month, and then have some other adult program once a month. And then looking ahead, in October, we're going to be having we'll have a Halloween party, and we'll participate in the Safe Trick or Treat. And then further on down the line in December, we'll have our breakfast with the Grinch again. And we're also looking to possibly have Andy Mason do his brief history of Christmas music this year again. So he reached out to us the other day. We haven't had a whole lot of time to look at it, but I'm thinking that might be something we try to do for December ahead of the holidays. But I think that's all I have for fall programming. If you have any questions.
I have one, have y'all connected with, you were talking about family nights, and the Bertal Schools does this family engagement night. One it's history, one it's STEAM, they do 3 of them. It's Sarah Hutton's program, and I know it's next Wednesday night. So I don't know if y'all had planned it, and I'm not suggesting that you're not doing enough. I don't want you to schedule on top of those things. Those have been staggeringly well attended. I mean, stunning. There's hundreds of kids out there. It's crazy busy, and they have them out at the fairgrounds and the big pavilion, whatever the new one in the event center is, and it's just a lot of fun. And they have tables for other organizations and stuff like that. So might be something to pitch some of those, to have a table out there and pitching, hey, and come to our family night stuff too. So
I didn't realize they were having one coming up. We have been in the past, and we have been invited in the past, but I have not heard anything since we did it October was the year before last? We were part of their fall.
I'll find the
one,
email and
and
I'll reach out to Sarah for you.
But I haven't
I'll
heard
get
anything.
Get you the schedule. They've got them all scheduled for the whole year, so.
Oh, okay, okay. One other thing, we do have this month, the junior high, all of the English classes will be coming one Thursday, the end of this month, to do tours and the different things that they come and learn about the library. So we'll see every kid who's in English at the junior high in one Thursday. So we'll touch all of them. All right.
Any other questions? Okay, then we'll move on to item 5, discussion of the 2022 government obligation bond expenditure priorities.
So we're coming up, we don't have to have the money spent until April 1st of 2026, but that will be here before we know it. And usually when you're making big purchases, they have to be done months in advance to make sure that we can get it purchased, get it here, and get it paid for before that deadline. So according to my calculations right now, we have about $30,868 that we have left to spend before that time. And we have some different things that we're looking at. In your packet, there's some different things that we are interested in at the moment. It's time to start replacing our computers. I don't have an exact price on those, but I was estimating probably around $650 a piece. Would you say that sounds about right, Brandon?
I don't think there's been any different from what we worked last time, so
Okay.
maybe a bit less than that.
Okay, so, and we do not have to do all of them at once. We have 24 public computers. We don't have to do all 24 at once, which I think actually would be better to stagger them around so that if there comes a time when we don't have all the money at once, we don't have all of our computers going down at once. That just happened to be how it worked out the last time. So if we did 12 computers at $650, that'd be about $7,800. And my list for what we want to do is more than the money that I have, but these are the things that we're thinking. Also in that packet, there are some tables that are similar to these right here. They're a little bit wider, but they fold to the side and they roll and they stack together. And we are interested in purchasing those for our meeting room. When I first started at the library, we had regular folding tables and they were 70 pounds a piece. And oh, gosh, they were heavy. And during the summer, we definitely had an arm workout and we upgraded and bought some lighter tables and they felt like they were wonderful and they were fantastic. And now here we are with multiple programs a day and we are exhausted folding and carrying tables, even though they don't weigh 70 pounds anymore. So our thought was if we got these tables that roll and stack, one person could do it easily on their own versus needing to have multiple people to try to help carry tables, not be dragging them across the floor, and we can do setup and takedown easily, especially it's not so much during the regular year, but during the summer with multiple programs. By the time you get the kids out and the next group is getting ready to set up, it would sure be handy if one person could possibly do it by themselves. Also, it wouldn't be as tiring. So we're looking at these. We may be able to find a better price, but we were looking at the library store and those are about $1,025 a piece. So we're looking at 10 of those. So that comes out to be about $10,250 for tables. That doesn't include shipping or anything like that, just the cost of the tables themselves. And then another item we are interested in is the kitchen a la carte. I think we had mentioned it at the last meeting, but there are some pictures here. It's a big rolling cart. It has a cooktop, an oven, storage, all of the gear that you would need. There may even be a microwave. And from what I understand, we don't even have to have our electrical changed out to use that. We can just plug it in to the wall. So we would really love to have one of those to do programming with the kids, programming with adults. I would love to have more than one, but I don't know where we would put it. So I'm not even real sure what we're going to do with the one that we have. We're just going to roll it around everywhere. But these are pretty pricey. The one we're looking at is the kitchen a la carte plus all of the small wares. And it's got enough things for a group of 10 to cook. And that is right under $16,000. And then our last item, we're looking at a storage unit to put in the back there at the library. Since we've started Stream, we have got so many things that we need to keep and we need to store. So we have a big, which obviously this is not something we would put out there, but we have a big rolling cart that charges all of the iPads. We have big cases full of robots. So places where we used to have a place to store things, we don't anymore because we have those things in its place. So we're looking to try to move some of our things that we have in the library now in storage that could reasonably be outside. I'm thinking some of the stuff that's in the outside storage now, which is actually part of the building. It just has an outdoor access. We could maybe move some of that in there. We have some things, maybe our Christmas decorations could go in there, stuff that you would normally put in one, but we're obviously not going to put our charging station with the iPads in there. But something that would fit in that small area as you go out the back door from children's in that rocky area back there. So I had looked at some smaller ones, but as we measured it off, I thought we'll have that full in no time. And I would rather have one that's just a little bit bigger to give us a little bit of room to grow and not be wishing that we had something bigger to start with. The ones that I had looked at that look the nicest, and I don't know, these are resin, I believe is what it said, and I'm not sure on how well that will do. They had good reviews. It said they were good in the sun and the wind. They're will kind of be protected back there with the fence and the building, so I'm hoping that could help them. I did look at some metal ones, but the metal ones, well, there is a metal one on here, and it is considerably cheaper. But you do have to put the floor in. You'd have to, so there's that.
We have one similar to that. It's very light.
Did it
It's,
pour a slab for it? What did that-
This one, you didn't have to pour a slab, but it had a kit that you would put those runners along the bottom, and then you have to put your plywood in.
yeah, the doors will close a couple times.
That's what I was afraid of with the metal one. I thought we're gonna have a problem getting those doors. I could just imagine trying to get those doors open and closed on the metal one. So I was kind of leaning to one of these other ones. They've already got the floor in them. And that is something that GOB will pay for as long as it's a prefab structure. They will pay for that. They won't pay for us to construct one. But if we did a prefab, they would pay for that. That is something that we can use. So I was looking at these different options here. I'm kind of leaning to this Keter Artisan 11x7 that's right at 1900. But it would be something that we definitely want to go look at and see what we think. Will the doors open and close the way we want? How handy will that be? Will they be hard to secure? That kind of thing. So it was more of a just trying to get an idea on pricing versus this is absolutely what we're doing. We'll need to take a look at them and see.
I
What
just
we
have
think.
2 recommendations of the resin ones, so they'll last, especially if it's in kind of a protected area. Get it, my only suggestion would be get as much as you can afford.
Okay,
Yeah, get as big a one as you can. Get the money for, you know what I mean, and that would fit, I mean, obviously, though, you don't want it sticking out in the alley,
right.
but yeah, don't save $50 and cut off 10 square feet or something, because man, you'll use every square inch of it.
Yeah, I think we will too, because just thinking about it, I'm like, well, we got that full.
It'll be full about the day you put it together.
Yeah. So those are our thoughts there. With just that I gave you, that puts us at 35,876, and we don't have that much money to spend. So we would obviously want to trim some stuff down. Probably, I really feel like the storage is a need right now. The tables are a need right now. The kitchen is definitely a want, but we have the money to do it. I think if I was doing it right now, I would do the tables, the kitchen, and the storage, and whatever I had left over, if any, I would use to start on the computers, unless Brandon thinks that we need to move forward with.
I don't, I think, I know we have probably maybe 4 out of those 24 machines that are having the thermal issue in those, and those are all in one, so taking them apart and fixing them is not very feasible. By the time you do that, you bought a new one. But I would get at least enough to cover those. And there's just really none that are having issues. But it'd be nice to have, 4 on standby just in case we need it. So I think you could do 8, be fine.
Okay. And the 2024 GOB should be coming up soon. So we hopefully will have access to that money here before too terribly long. So this money is going to run out, but 2024 should be coming up. I looked to see how it worked last time, and I was signing the agreement for the 2022 GOB in March of 2024. So I'm thinking maybe March of 2026 is when I would be signing the agreement for the 2024 GOB fund. So those should be coming up pretty soon. And I think it will be about the same as what we got this last time. It had gone up quite a bit. So this time in 2022, we received just over $56,000 for GOB. And we have, they say you have 4 years to spend it, but you don't get the full, well, we won't have access to the 2024 money until sometime in 2026, and it will have to be spent by 2028.
Okay, are there any questions?
My only question would be, you guys decide what you, that we don't decide that, right? Correct?
Well, you can help us decide if you thought that we weren't choosing the best way or whatever, y'all could
I think
definitely.
y'all are far more qualified to make that decision. I was just making sure.
Just let me do what I want over here.
Yes.
Okay, so then that's what we'll do on that. We'll work to get those tables, the kitchen, the storage. Probably, I'm thinking the tables and the storage right away. The kitchen, I don't know if that's something that they have to make, but we'll get on that pretty quick so they have time if that's the case. I don't know if they have them just sitting where you order it and they ship it on out, or if you have to wait for them to put it together and ship and all that kind of stuff. I know sometimes when we order furniture, it's custom and it comes from Germany or something, and it takes a really long time.
Speaking of putting together, are you gonna have to put it together, or is the city gonna help you do that, or is that something we need to do?
I'm hoping the city will help us. I really think that they will. Steve is really good to come help us do those kinds of things. So I think that we would be able to get our Parks Department to help us in that area. And I think that's all I've got for GOB. And with that, I didn't put in there, I didn't even think about it, but I believe that the 2026 election coming up will probably have a GOB question on the ballot then. And I don't believe that it adds, the taxes won't go up. It's usually a continuation of the bond, so it's not something new, so it won't add any taxes or anything like that. It will just continue as is. So that's something you can promote to everyone you see to please vote for that whenever that comes around in November. But I think that's all I have for GOB unless anybody has any questions.
Okay. Then we'll move along to any other business. Is there any other business to be presented? No. Okay, seeing as there's no other business, then we always motion to adjourn. Is there a motion? No, I can just do it.
You can do it.
All right, then I will adjourn the meeting at 10:32 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you.